Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My dear student, Assalamu alaikum. This is your Iqbal sir. I hope all are well by the grace of Almighty Allah. This is my first video on reflection of light. That is, in this video we'll discuss about reflection of light. At first, we have to know what is light. What is it? Light is a electromagnetic wave. What is light? Light is a electromagnetic wave. Like every wave, it also has a wavelength. Like every wave, it also has a wavelength which is lies between 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer, which is lies between 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer. Here a figure is given which show the spectrum of light and sensitivity of eyes to different colors. Spectrum of light and sensitivity of eyes to different colors. Here this figure is draw sensitivity of eyes versus wavelength in nanometer, and here the visible light lies between 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer. Here this figure is arranged according to wavelength, and our visible light is lies between ultraviolet and infrared. Visible light is in the middle of the electromagnetic spectrum. This figure is also show the wave, but this is arranged according to frequency. And here the frequency of radio wave is a minimum, and the frequency of gamma ray is maximum, and our visible light lies between infrared and ultraviolet, which range is 400 nanometers to 700 nanometers. Light is also called electromagnetic radiation. It can be called as a electromagnetic wave or electromagnetic radiation. Speed of light. The speed of light is always 29 crore 97 lakhs 92,458 meter per second inside a vacuum. Since the moment light is emitted, its speed is already at c. Speed of light is c, denoted by c, and which value is 29 crore 97 lakh 92,458 meter per second inside a vacuum. Then we will discuss about nature of light. Number one, characteristics of the light: a form of energy which enables us to see. Light is a form of energy which enables us to see. Number two, characteristics: it travels in straight line. It travels at a very high speed, and its speed is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second in vacuum. This is the approximate value, and this is the accurate value. Okay, this value is the accurate value, but this is the approximate value. Okay, it is emitted by luminous sources such as sun, stars, candles, lamps, etc. It is emitted by luminous sources. The luminous sources are those sources from which we get light. And these are the sun, stars, candles, lamps, etc. White light is a mixture of 7 different colors. We know that white light is a mixture of 7 different colors, namely red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Light is a transverse wave and forms part of the electromagnetic spectrum. Light is a transverse wave and forms part of the electromagnetic spectrum. Magnetic 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 spectrum. Waves are two types. One is longitudinal and another is transverse wave, and light is the transverse wave and which forms part of the electromagnetic spectrum. Reflection of light. What is the reflection of light? This is the phenomena shown by light. Reflection of light. What is the reflection of light? When light falls on a highly polished surface like a mirror, most of the light is sent back into the same medium. This process is called reflection of light. When light falls on a highly polished surface like a mirror, most of the light is sent back into the same medium. This process is called reflection of light. Reflection of light. Light ray. What is the light ray? The path along which light energy travels is called a ray. The path along which light energy travels is called a ray, and it is represented by a straight line. It is represented by a straight line with an arrow to show its direction of motion. Here arrow show the direction of motion. Beam of light. What is the beam of light? A beam of light is a bundle of light rays. A beam of light is a bundle of light rays. This is the parallel beam because here the light ray are parallel to each other. Every line ray are parallel to each other. That's why we call it parallel beam. And this is the converging beam. What is the converging beam? Because converging means we know that meet in a certain point. If they are proceeded or propagate in a certain point, then this beam are called converging beam. This beam are called converging beam. This is the diverging beam. Diverging means spread out from a certain point. Spread out from a certain point. Here these three ray spread out from a certain point. That's why these beam are called diverging beam. Diverging beams. Normal. What is the normal? An imaginary line perpendicular to a surface where the reflection occurs. An imaginary line perpendicular to the surface. Here this is the surface or plane. Here if we draw a line which is perpendicular like that, then this imaginary line is called the normal. Reflection of light. The ray striking the surface, that is incoming ray. This is the incoming ray which is striking the surface, which is called the incident ray. Incident ray, that is the ray which is incident to the surface. Incident to the surface is called the incident ray, and the imaginary line which is drawn perpendicular to the surface is called the normal. This is the normal, and the reflected ray from the surface, that is outgoing ray. The ray reflected from the surface, outgoing ray. This outgoing ray is called the reflected ray. This is the reflected ray, and this is the normal, and this is the incident ray. Incident ray. The angle between incident ray and normal is called the angle of incidence. The angle between incident ray and the normal. This is the incident ray and this is the normal. This is the normal, and the angle between this incident ray and the normal is called the angle of incidence. Is called the angle of incident. And the angle between reflected ray and the normal. The angle between reflected ray and the normal is called the angle of reflection. Angle of reflection. That is, this is the reflected ray, this is the reflected ray, and this is the normal, and the angle between this reflected ray and the normal is called the reflection. Angle of reflection. Angle of reflection. This is the angle of reflection. Now we will discuss about law of reflection. Laws of reflection.